If you have an addiction to perfection, you likely can't accept when anyone else tells you that you're perfect as you are, that you are enough. Usually you receive that, and for a moment you go, oh, yes, I feel so much better. And then it falls to the wayside. It's gone, out of sight, out of mind. It hasn't solidified in your body. Your heart is still seeking for something that is rooted so that you know that you are enough. You don't need to be in control of everything. And you don't have to wear this perfect persona all the time and live by this personality that is just suffocating you, limiting you. It is creating a life that is truly something that's only based off of a structured system that doesn't align to your heart. It aligns to the perfect persona's heart. So, today's video, I wanted to make it very practical. How are we going to overcome this addiction to perfection, this need to have everything just right? And I will say, as a recovering perfectionist and still in the works, um, the layers in this psychologically go deep. There's a lot, really, the root system is in interpersonal relations with our parents and the way that they have repressed certain parts of themselves and then projected that onto you. And now you are thus receiving a influence internally that you have to, you're kind of going based off of their idealized image. And you're now taking this on in such a way that it feels, it just may overcome your life. We'll just say that. So we can look at the psychology of it, but truly, we're not adding any practicality to this. So that's why I'm like, let's go straight into what do we do here? How do we go about this? How do you clear the understanding and the psychology of this perfectionist drive? And is it okay that you can still have some of this and not get rid of it? Because here's the thing, um, as perfectionist, there is a striving for more, for better, to keep going. But there's also, the shadow side of that, which is not knowing your limits. It is being obsessive with the way that things are so much that you are destroying these things. So let me bring in the practicalities, okay? I have drawn out a beautiful 4-quadrant. Look at this. It's 4 quadrants. We have our home, we have our work, relations, and self. And, as you can identify each one, what I want you to do is write down from 1 to 5 your quality of perfection, how you would be in the situation of your home. Does it need to be organized? Does it not need to be organized? This is going to actually cut away what you think that you are in control of and what you're actually not. Because the perfectionist just wants to have some sense of, solidification in what they do, being that it has to be their way, right? So you have your home life. Just identify 1 to 5. Where do you reside on this spectrum? 1 being it's okay to have chaos. I'm okay with the chaos. I'm actually disorganized in this. I have no control in here. 2, 5 being it has to be my way. It has to be my way. And if it's not my way, then I'm going to get extremely angry and I will likely have an outburst, which is very emotional, right? You have a lot of emotions attached to being this perfectionist because this is a part of your identity, or this may have been your identity your entire life, right? So as I bring this beautiful illustration back up, 1 to 5, where do you reside on each one of these? I would love for you to write this down for yourself and just, ponder on this. Is your home something that you have to always keep tidy? And if something is out of place, how do you respond to that emotionally? We go into your work. Do you have any kind of perfection that's tied to the way that you perform in your work? And is that keeping you from actually doing more and keeping a bare minimum, right? Can you work and push and get things done, but allow the work to not be such a high top-notch quality that has to be 120. Okay, 100%, yeah, it's pretty good. We're kind of, taking the notches down, but 110, 120, it's like, are you going home having to have a glass of wine to wind down because wine to wind down because you simply you can't accept the quality of work that you're putting into your work. Again, as a perfectionist, you've already reached a certain standard in your psyche as to what you want to do, as to how you can achieve. Beautiful, divine. What we do now is we're going to kind of wind it down a bit so that you can, I can be dynamic and fluid and open. And I have more creation. I have, this libido back to me. You have the charge again. You're not just constricted by the perfectionist. So, like, you have the ability to be pliable, is what I'm saying. Um, and then we're going to look at relations. All of your relationships. Are you in a place with your relationships where you don't have to always say something? You don't always have to make something right. You don't always have to be in control of the way that someone else does something. Let them be them. It's okay. Again, I'm saying it's okay and you can do this and blah, blah, blah. There's many layers to it, so I'm not trying to water it down, but I will say that, the tighter that you can grasp onto something, you're actually in less control of that thing. Okay, and then we have yourself. You and yourself. How do you treat yourself in a way that we're looking at food and working out? Are you in such a rigid structure? Are you at number 5 where you have to have it your way that you're, breaking your body to pieces by going to the gym 2 times a day, or maybe not going to the gym at all, and obsessing over food or obsessing over a certain substance because that substance makes you feel as though you are attaining the you're attaining the idea of the self, the perfect self. Okay, so we kind of want to dive into each one of these aspects of our life because this is our surrounding, this is our security, this is what builds us and makes us us. So if we're looking at each one of these, you can really dissect. Am I, as a perfectionist, living my life in such a way that is draining me, having to keep an image that isn't me? Okay, so we want to just create some wiggle room in our life as we begin to deconstruct this perfection, this image. As we deconstruct, we just want some wiggle room. Okay, when we see perfection in the outside world, we can immediately see this in regards to how the media is portraying what the perfect woman is. Even if she has curves, they're still making those curves very tight knit and top notch. And it's like, but that's not, real. It's not. And can you, as an individual, be enough being a 7 or a 6? Like, can you be enough as this a lower number? Or maybe you have a lower self-esteem, and low self-esteem is actually within everything that I've just spoken. Low self-esteem, because if you do feel as though you are enough, and you don't need to be in control, then perfection really isn't of a concern. You're just trying to maintain a certain quality of life that is actually fluid and allows you to just be as you are and then continue on that path. So if you feel like, as an individual, the way that you look, the way you perceive yourself, your work, your relationships, if you consider all these to be a little bit lower on that spectrum where you feel like you don't have enough control within this, and you're trying to reach up to make everything so in control, you have to work on your heart and your ability to forgive yourself and love yourself to such an extent that you can you can collect the acceptance of the current state that you're in, so that each one of these aspects, it is already a 5 with exactly where you are right now. I hope that made sense. I'm not sure if it did, but I'm just trying to weave in different ways that we look at ourselves. So, with this video, the one thing that I would love to leave you with is that I don't know if you just heard my cat meow. Come here. What should we leave this video with? I think we should leave this video with, when it comes to perfection, you're really never going to be enough if you don't nurture who you are right now, and if you don't learn to work with this current state. But I know that there's many layers to it, and I don't want to negate the psychology, the unwinding, the crying, the anger that comes along with the process, but I simply want to invite you invite you to look at the different aspects of your life and kind of pull yourself in to see how you may be draining yourself. You are so worth it. You're so worth it. You are so beautiful. You are so worthy of life and of great relationships and of an abundance of money and of being the person that can help other people without needing to be so involved with them, but to just be hands off. Like, you're so worthy of a person who is very established and who they are, and you don't need to be this chiseled image that no one can attain to be. So let's create a new image for you, a new energy for you. I hope this video has supported you in some way. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.